This is Ravi's revenge, the river that has shaped Punjab for centuries.
Flowing from the Himalayas into Pakistan, the Ravie nourishes Lahore, Sheikhupura, Narowal and Kasur. It shapes the life of Punjab. In Lahore, the waters of the Ravie once defined trade, culture, and the daily life of its people. For centuries, empires rose along its banks, building castles, forts, and gardens beside the Ravie. These forts and palaces stood proudly, claiming dominion over the course of the Ravie. Its floodplains gave life to crops and villages, making Punjab the land of abundance along the Ravie. Poets have long called the Ravie a river of memory, carrying stories through generations.
For villages and towns, the Ravie was a lifeline, shaping everyday life.
Each season brought new rhythms, sometimes gentle, sometimes wild, along the Ravie. Merchants and travelers traced the path of the Ravie, connecting Punjab to distant lands. Dariya, Lahore Fort, and other strongholds rose along the Ravie, symbols of power and protection. Villagers lived in harmony with the flow of the Ravie, unaware of nature's patience. The Ravie carried goods and idea, shaping the culture of Punjab. For 40 years, the waters of the Ravie seemed calm, almost forgotten by those who lived beside it.
Yet even in calm, the Ravie's strength lingered, waiting for its time.
Stretching across Punjab, the Ravie has witnessed history, battles, and settlements rise and fall. Through centuries, the Ravie occasionally reminded people of its unstoppable power. The banks of the Ravie were centers of learning, culture, and celebration. But over time, humans built on the floodplains of the Ravie, believing the river would stay silent forever. Thus begins the story of a river that waits and eventually takes back what is hers. Once a lifeline for civilizations, the Ravie began to wane as neglect crept over its floodplains. Over decades, fertile banks were claimed for crops and homes, unaware of the river's patience. Trade and transport along the Ravie slowly declined as channels became shallow and abandoned. The cultural and spiritual life once centered on the Ravie faded with the water's retreat. Seasons passed, yet the river remained quiet, giving no warning of what lay ahead. Life went on along the banks, seemingly ordinary, but the river's strength was never gone. After years of quiet, the Ravie began to swell, hinting at the power that lay beneath. Lands once claimed for settlement and farming were now in danger as the river reclaimed its space. Communities along the Ravie faced sudden upheaval, forced to confront the river's return. The once calm channels became swift and dangerous, reminding all of the river's might. Even the centuries-old forts along the Ravie now stood on the front line of its surge. Infrastructure that had long connected communities was now threatened by the river's sudden rise. In Lahore, one of Punjab's largest cities, the Ravie reminded people of its unstoppable force.
Sheikhupura, Narowal, and Kasur, all along the Ravie, faced devastation as the waters claimed lands lost decades ago.
Today, the Ravie returns with floods that challenge the very lands and lives built upon its banks. Villagers evacuate their homes, carrying essentials and guiding livestock to safety. Livestock, the backbone of rural livelihoods, struggle against rising waters, guided by their caretakers. Roads and bridges vanish beneath the flood, isolating communities and cutting off access to aid. Schools and public buildings along the Ravi face devastation, disrupting education and daily life. Even Lahore, Punjab's bustling hate, finds itself at the mercy of the Ravi. In Sheikhupura, Narowal and Kasur, communities confront floods, reclaiming lands lost decades ago. Rescue and relief teams rush to assist those affected, but the Ravi continues to dominate the landscape. At its peak, the Ravi spread across the plains, swallowing homes and farmland alike. Families displaced by the flood waited on higher ground, uncertain of when they could return. Fields of wheat and rice, once fertile, lay destroyed beneath the waters.
In hardship, resilience emerged. Neighbors, strangers, and volunteers stood together against the flood.
As waters lingered, hope for recovery rested in the strength of those who endured. 40 years after it was tamed, the Ravi has risen again, reclaiming the lands that were once its own.
History reminds us that rivers cannot be bound forever. Their memory spans generations.
In the end, the Ravi reclaims land and memory, a reminder that rivers endure.